Hey guys, I'm Sean Calloway and I'm the Director of New Products here at Anzo USA. And today I'm going to be showing you how to install our brand new full LED headlights on a 16 to 18 Silverado 1500. They're available in both black and chrome as shown here. And today we're going to be installing the chrome ones because this has the chrome grille package on it and it'll match up really nicely. But first we're going to go over some of the in-depth details on the headlight at a little bit closer of a look. So right out of the box, what you'll notice is we have a matching chrome trim or black trim, depending on your grille package and the look that you're going for. This one has the chrome housing, which we also have in the black housing. And then we have our safety reflector over here, which also has two LEDs in it that are running for your side marker light. We have your low beam and your high beam, which are both LED modules inside. We have your LED running light here. And then down here, we have your LED turn signal. Okay, so now on the back side, take a look at what we have going on. So at first glance, you'll notice that there's no access to the LED projectors back here. We do have two vent tubes to release heat, and they don't let in any moisture. We have an adjuster here, an adjuster down here. We have a resistor, which corrects the rate of flash for your turn signal. That way it's not hyper flashing. We have a single main connector that'll plug into your OE harness. And then we have the various mounting points. There's one here, here, down here, and one on the front side. So that gives you kind of an idea of where your bolts are gonna be for you to look for on the vehicle when you're taking it apart. Okay, so now that we've gone over all the parts on the headlights, we're ready to install the headlights. So let's get started. Okay, so now we're ready to get the headlights out of the vehicle, but there's a couple things we have to do first. So let's start by popping the hood. And the first thing we see is the core support cover. That will have to come off, as well as the grille, before we can even get the headlights out of the vehicle. So to start this, there's tabs all along here that have push clips, and what you'll use is a small fork tool like this in order to get in and remove these clips. And we'll do that for all these in order to get off this top cover. Okay, so now we've got all 12 of the push tabs removed. It's always a good idea to keep them in a small container or a small dish on the side. That way you don't lose any, you don't have to go to the part store for those. So now we can remove this and just set this off to the side. Okay, so now that we have the core support cover off, we have 4 10mm bolts that we need to remove in order to remove the grille. So let's go ahead and do that. Just set these off into our magnetic tray here. That way we don't lose anything. And we're gonna go back to the fork tool. Now you can use a flat blade screwdriver, that works too. Just set this in here. And right where the 10mm bolt was, you're gonna wanna slide this in. And there's a tab that sticks down into the core support. You're gonna wanna lift up and pull out so that releases. And then the second one, you're gonna have to hold this one. On the second one, you do the same thing until it releases. Then you can move your hand along the top and go through and do them all. So once those are all released, what you want to do is get a good firm grip. We'll use up here and down here. There's 4 snap tabs in either side that you have to pull out and release from the core support. So if you just give it a good pull, it should come out. Just like that. Set this off to the side, and now we can start taking the headlights out. Okay, so now we've got the grille removed from the vehicle, and we want to take out the headlights. So we've got 3 10mm bolts. There's 2 up here, and then 1 right down here that we can access really easily. There's a 4th one that's located right down here in the bottom corner, right behind the bumper. What we're going to do is we're going to remove 2 Torx screws from the fender liner and pull that back in order to gain access to that bolt. So let's get started. Okay, so we're gonna start by getting the hard one, obviously. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna remove 2 T 15 Torx screws, and then pull back the fender liner. And all you have to do is slip your finger in, pull this back. Just like that. Okay, so now that we've got this fender liner pulled back, we can go ahead and get our open end wrench. I'd use the box side. This is probably the easiest way unless you have a quarter drive with a really short 10mm socket. The bolt that we're after is the one that goes down here in this bottom corner. So it's located right about here, about 2 inches down from the bottom of this light. So we'll just pull this back, and you have to really just do this by feel. And this one will take you probably a couple minutes or so to get a hang of it. If you have a ratchet wrench, that's probably the best bet. And now it's time for the easy ones. We've got one here, and one right here. So we'll start low. Make sure you always have a good grip on them. And this one, and then this one. Set these off into your tray. So the headlights also have a tab on them, just like the grill does, that you can use your fork tool and just go ahead and lift up on it to release the top of the light. Okay, so now that this is all loose, we can go ahead and just put our hand underneath it and gently wiggle it out of here. Once we're about here, we can go ahead and reach in on the back side, pull the safety tab on the harness, and pull it on out. Okay, so now all we have to do is remove the light from the vehicle. The last thing we have to do is to remove the bottom color trim from the original light and install it on the new light. Okay, we've got the trim installed on the light, and now we're ready to install the light onto the vehicle as well as the other components of the vehicle. All we have to do is replace everything the same way we took it off. Okay, let's get started. Okay guys, so we got it all installed. Everything's back together, and as you can see, they line up really nice, really good gaps, just like OEM. The last thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to adjust your low beam. And what you do is you just get a Phillips screwdriver. We all have one of these. And there's a access port right here in the top cover. So if you look down it, you'll see the adjuster from the back side of the light. You take your Phillips and you line it up with the teeth on the adjuster, and you just spin it left or right, whether you have to bring it up or down. Once you've done that, you can go ahead and take it out for a ride, and you're good to go. As always, thank you for purchasing our products, and we'd love to hear from you, good, bad, or indifferent.